Hello guys, Descendix TV here, coming at you with a video for 3.16 for Lightning Trapper, of course. So, a lot has changed. A lot has changed for 3.16. And I'm saying that with a positive tone because I think it's awesome. I think 3.16 is going to be super interesting. Now it's a bit hard for a build author because so much has actually changed. It's really not that easy to just pop out and fix everything and make it exactly like it was before. There's simply too many changes, too many variables, too many unknowns still that we need to actually play and test before we can answer the questions. But for a gaming perspective, it's really amazing. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be so much to do, so many things to test. It's gonna be great. And I'm gonna leak start this build, however, so either way, you're gonna be able to see the progress and see how it's working out. But I'm positive so far. I'm positive with what I've seen. So this is like roughly probably the build or the new pathing I'll do. We lost a lot of block because, well, there's a couple of important notes about block. So they have changed how shields are in 3.16. So shields used to have a lot of random crappy mods that you really couldn't use, and only a few really good ones that you would rarely hit, because like in our build we wanted to hit the recovery, energy shield recovery, and we wanted to hit the spell block on our shield. But that was really hard because there's so many crappy mods. Now the recovery we could do because we could force it pretty easy with harvest, but hitting spell block super hard because there were so many crap mods. They've actually GGG has actually gone out and said that for 3.16 they're changing it. They're making shields more cohesive. They're going to be defensive items in general. So they've removed a bunch of random mods that were on the shields before and kept the good mods, the mods that are related to defenses. And that should make it a lot easier to actually hit the stuff we want to hit when we are crafting our shield. And it should also make the shield cheaper to buy in general with good stats if you're not someone that likes to self-craft. Because obviously the more people who can hit the good stats, the more the value will drop on the market, which is good for us or good for the build. So another big change is that with this new skill tree, we don't have a thread of hope anymore. It just simply doesn't work with the new skill tree. The things have moved around too much. We don't benefit enough from having it. Let me show if I have one here. Thread of hope. So the large ring, medium. There, that's the old one. So this is the one we used to have, and as you can see, we cannot get the utmost intelligence anymore. This one, it's moved way out of the circle. We can still get Lightning Walker, we can still get the Arcane Focus, but that's pretty much it. Those two we can get. We can't get Heart of Thunder either. And even if we could get Heart of Thunder, we wouldn't be able to get the Mastery without actually pathing there. And we really want the Mastery because it's great. Having shocks increase up to a maximum of 60% is really awesome. Well, as you can see here, it's 5% of my damage. It's really big. So yeah, Thread of Hope is out. And I really don't mind that because Thread of Hope was just another unique item that you had to chase from the league start, and the less uniques we have, the better in my opinion. So it's great. It's also great for the budget in general. So, Thread of Hope, gone. Now let me just put the other gem back in. It's a Watcher's Eye. It's the same one that we were using in 3.15. So I'm just gonna I'm keeping all the gear the same that was used in the guide for that people were using in 3.15. So that way it's easier to compare stats for what we've lost, what we've gained, etc. So block will be easier to get on items. We'll also get, now as you see my spell block right now is 34, but we will also get a heap load of block from Tempest Shield. Right now gems are not updated in POB, so we can't actually see our true block chance yet. But if we go here, Tempest Shield, so Tempest Shield will become a reservation aura. It will cost 25% to reserve it, but it will grant 18% spell block. 18%, it's really amazing. It used to grant just 3% attack, 3% spell. Now it's going to be 18% spell block. It's amazing. So yeah, our spell block is going to go up from that a lot. And whenever they update the gem, I'll put that in, of course. Now we are also able to fit Arctic armor, which is going to be huge. The reason we can fit it is because of all these new mastery things. So we have mana reservation efficiency as a mastery. We have, let me see where it is, discipline reservation efficiency also as a mastery. We have Skitterbutt's reservation efficiency, also a mastery. So we have a bunch of mana reservation efficiency now, which actually allows us to fit Arctic armor in the build now, which is just really awesome. It's gonna give us a much needed protection against physical damage, and even better, it's gonna make us freeze immune, which is just really good, obviously. So, what else should I point out to you guys? Well, in general, all these masteries, they're very customizable. Like, there's a lot of them that you can change depending on what you're doing or what you prefer. You don't have to use the exact same masteries as another guy is using. And for example, up here, this mastery, we right now need 85 strength and 72 dexterity. I could fix that by picking a different mastery here. I could go for strength or dexterity if I wanted. That would solve the requirements. Personally, I'm gonna go for intelligence, and because it also gives energy shield. And then I'm just gonna get the other required stats on a ring or something like that as usual. But you could, if you, let's say you don't find an item that matches the criteria, or can't get a good item with strength and stuff like that, you can just change this mastery up, fix your strength problem by grabbing that mastery. Boom, suddenly you're 130 strength, no problems at all. And it's really that easy. So that is definitely worth noting. Masteries in general have a lot of different ways of solving issues. And what else should we look at? So over here, so they removed Blast Cascade. Blast Cascade used to be 3 points right around here. Now instead they have the trap cooldown stuff here, which we don't use because we don't need that. This is if you're a seismic trapper, it's great. But for us it's not required since we don't have cooldowns on lightning trap. But Blast Cascade used to be a 3-pointer notable that we grabbed here. Now, and it gives or it gave power charges. 15% chance of generating a power charge when your traps were triggered. Instead, they added that part of it to the high explosives, as you can see here. So in that sense, we've freed up 3 points to use on other things. Now they did nerf some of the trap passives, like we've lost 10% penetration on traps, we've lost some trap increased damage, but then on the other hand, we've gained a lot through masteries in general. We also have a mastery here where it's 5% chance to throw up to additional fall traps. This one doesn't affect our damage in PUB yet. I guess it's just broken, but it will definitely be good, be great for us. This one's also pretty good for pre-laying traps on bosses. This one we don't need because traps just in general have a 2-second timer where they are immune to damage, so we don't really need this. But yeah, anyways, so they've removed some notables entirely and merged the important part of that notable with other notables. So in a way that's good, as we save some points. And it should make up for the damage we lost on some of the passives. They've removed some multiplier, they've removed, as I said, 10% penetration, and they've removed some increased trap damage stats. So let's see, what else have we got? Oh right, so potentially there's a really cool wheel here. For hardcore you would probably grab this. For a softcore, if you don't like dying, you could probably grab this while leveling. Maybe even keep it, sacrifice some ears or something elsewhere and keep this. Because this is a lot of chaos resist for 3 points, as you see. And, even better, the mastery. You can have that bleeds don't affect you. You cannot be corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you. Normally you would have to get that either on a flask or have it as a corruption on a jewel. Now you could get it here. Pretty awesome for leveling and stuff, I would say. Making you more tanky with the chaos resist and being immune to bleeds. Awesome. This skill tree has Elira. You could also go for the bandits. And then you could pick, well, there's a lot of choices, but like straight up you could pick these two if you wanted. You could pick instability and 4% increased spell damage per power charge. That's an option. Could also get more ES if you want more defensive stuff. There's also a cluster down here which is changed. It used to be just staffs. Now it's staff or shield. It doesn't work in PUB yet. It just shows up as red for us, and it doesn't actually add any spell block to us, even though we are wearing a shield. But as you can see, it should work. So it's just a PUB issue. And this is like a mini. This is like the thing that we normally get from our shield, but in a small version, so to say. Recover energy shield when you block spell damage. Normally on our Shaper shields we get 5%, recover 5% of our ES when we block any damage. This is recover 50 energy shield when you block spell damage. Also pretty good. Could also be useful for leveling and stuff before you have access to crafting or buying a shield with ES recovery block on it. And a nice cluster in general. So I wanted to show you guys these options and just to give you the understanding that there are a lot of choices to do, and it all pretty much comes down to your play style, your own play style. Do you want to be more defensively laid out? Do you want to have more damage? Are you typically just farming bosses, farming Awakener 9 over and over? What do you want to be more tanky in maps or what? It's a lot of choices can be made by how you play, especially with all these new masteries that you can pick between. You can also get the light rages now. I think I had this one right. Yeah, I did. Could probably also pick this. The frozen is pointless because we get that now from Arctic armor. This one is great while you're leveling and before you have your Cheula's amulet. This one is really awesome. Definitely awesome. So if you're like CI or something like that and saving up for your Cheula amulet and your Shatron's armor, probably pick this one in the meantime. Also, the Pantheons have been upgraded quite significantly. You should definitely take a look at those. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that. But just for now, be aware that the Pantheons has been upgraded quite a bit. They are very useful now. Uh, Definitely take a look at that. So that being said, for now this is just what I wanted you guys to see and to know about. I will probably do another more specific video uh, once I know more about this and all these changes myself. This is still all very new. They caught us very much off guard with the whole Skilltree rework. No one was expecting this. Everyone was waiting for the Atlas rework, the fact that they're halving the Atlas and going from 170 maps almost down to 100 and halving the regions from 8 to 4. That's the kind of stuff we were expecting, but this whole skill tree rework and a new mastery system, this is just like, yeah, this is a lot to take in suddenly. It's great. It's really gonna be good for gameplay, good for for 3.16, but it's also a lot to take in when you're doing build guides. So you guys probably need to be a bit patient with all the guides out there. Anyways, that is what I wanted to show you guys. I will see you on the stream or the forums or wherever you catch up with me. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would very much appreciate that. Still working towards that elusive goal of 1000 YouTube subscribers. So yeah, thank you a lot guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.